Brilliance Audio presents What Happens at Night by Peter Cameron, performed by Christopher Lane. Evening descended with an unnerving abruptness, like a curtain hurriedly lowered on an amateur theatrical gone horribly awry. And then the man noticed that the darkness was not the result of the sun setting, but of the train entering a dense forest, leaving behind the open fields of snow it had traversed all afternoon. The fir trees, tall and thick, crowded closely along the tracks like children pressing themselves up against a classroom window to get a better view of some gruesome accident in the street. His wife sat on the seat across from him. They were the only two people in the small, wood-paneled carriage of the old-fashioned train. For a long time she had been staring absently out the window, mesmerized, it seemed, by the endless expanse of tundra. But she suddenly recoiled when the train entered the dark woods, as if the trees brushing the sides of the carriage might reach in and scratch her. She touched the tender place on her cheek where the skin had been nastily scraped the night before. They had visited the market of the city where they were staying, for although they were not tourists, they were strangers, and eager to feel a part of some place, any place, if only for a night. And so the woman had been trying to find some charm in the market, for she was at a place in her life where it was necessary to discern and appreciate any charm or beauty she encountered. But this market was singularly without charm, for it contained nothing but fish and meat and root vegetables, and the fish did not look fresh, and the meat was not muscle but organs and brains and feet and lips and hearts, and the vegetables were all winter vegetables, roots and tubers, and other colorless things that had been savagely yanked from their cold earthen beds. No bright pyramids of tomatoes and peaches, no bouquets of basil and nasturtium, no glistening jeweled eyes of fish, no marbled slabs of beef. And then she had seen, in the distance, one stall that sold spectacular hothouse flowers, and had run toward it, desperate to find something that did not entirely turn one away from life. Her husband had noticed their artifice before she did, and had tried to steer her down another aisle, but she pulled free of him and ran toward the colored brightness of the flowers, wanting to bury her face in their fragrant petal softness, buy an armful of them, and carry it around with her like a bride, like a diva in the footlights. But in front of a fishmonger's stall she had slipped in a puddle of frigid water and fell to the floor, scraping her cheek and palms on the wet, fishy concrete. It was not until her husband had caught up with her and helped her to her feet that she realized that the flowers were plastic, not even silk. She could have at least touched them if they were silk. After a moment the woman returned her attention to the book that lay open upon her lap. She had found this old book, The Dark Forest by Hugh Walpole, in the waiting room of a train station that they had passed through, obviously abandoned by a fellow traveler. For some time after the darkness fell, or was entered, she continued to read, but suddenly she looked up from her book at the dark rushing windows of the carriage and asked, "Is there a light?" There was just enough light remaining in the carriage to see that there was no light. "I don't see one," her husband said. "You'd think there'd be a light," she said. "Yes," he said, "you'd think." She sighed disappointedly. Whether at the lack of a light or at his response to such a lack, he knew not. Probably both, and more. They had been traveling for days, first by plane, and then by train and ferry, and now once again by train, for their destination was a place at the edge of the world in the far north of a northern country, and not easily gained. Their journey was like a journey from a prior century, a matter of days rather than hours, the earth serious and real beneath them, constantly insisting on its vastness. An authentic evening was now occurring, the darkness a product of the sun's absence rather than its obscurity. They both watched it through the window. The woman touched her reflection, which the darkness outside had just revealed. "Look at me," she said. "So gaunt." My God, gaunt, how I hate that word. Gaunt, and jackal, and hubris, seepage, and what are the other words I hate? She had begun to do this recently, familiarly allude to odd, supposedly long-held predilections or positions that had never previously been mentioned, or existed, as far as the man knew. So he ignored her nonsensical question by asking her what the book was about. For a moment she said nothing, just watched her reflection hurtling along the dark scrim of pines. "About?" she finally said. "In what sense do you mean?" He did not answer because he did not like to indulge her contrariness. After a moment she said, "It's about the war." "Which war?" "One of the world wars," she said. "The first, I think. They're in trenches." "And?" "And? War is awful. It's bad enough I'm stuck reading it. Don't make me talk about it, too." "Okay," he said. "I'm sorry." She looked at him. Her audacity suddenly collapsed. "No," she said. "Don't be ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm just on edge, about everything." "I understand," he said. "I'm on edge, too." "About everything?" "No," he said. "Not everything. Just, how this all will go." "Or not go," she said.